Okay, dear students, today we are going to continue with the class where we left yesterday. Yesterday we were discussing about the circuit symbol of resistor. Then we were discussing about the variation of resistance according to the temperature, right? Here, uh, I told you yesterday that as the temperature changes, as the temperature changes, according to that, the resistance of the material also changes. Okay, as the resistance changes, the resistivity also changes. Therefore, here we have a very close relationship between resistance, resistivity, as well as the temperature. Okay, yesterday I have discussed one equation which gives us the relationship between resistivity of the material and the temperature. Okay, that is rho is equal to rho naught into 1 plus alpha into T minus T naught. Here alpha stands for coefficient of resistivity. Rho naught stands for resistivity of the same material at absolute zero temperature or absolute temperature, that is 0 Kelvin. 0 Kelvin is known as the absolute temperature. In chemistry also you might have learnt about this. Okay, now dear students, using the same information, let us understand how the resistance of the material changes with temperature. We know that resistivity is nothing but resistance of a conductor of unit length and unit cross sectional area. Okay, I repeat it once again. We came to know that, or we know that resistivity, it is nothing but resistance of a wire. Okay, resistance of a wire of unit length, that is L is equal to 1 unit, and unit cross sectional area, that is 1 square unit. Okay, so if we have a conductor of 1 unit length and its area of cross section is 1 square units, then definitely its resistance and resistivity both will be equal. Hence, we consider such conductor of unit length and unit cross sectional area, and we find that R is equal to rho. Resistance is equal to the resistivity. Okay. Now, if R naught is the resistance of the material at a temperature T naught, that is, you may consider it as absolute temperature, and R is the resistance of the same material at a temperature T, then what equation or relationship can we give between the relationship which is present between resistance and temperature? Yes, as we took the equation of resistivity and temperature, in the same way the equation of resistance can be taken. That is, R is equal to R naught into 1 plus alpha into T minus T naught. Okay, yes. Now, if that initial temperature T naught, if it is 0 Kelvin, I told you that it is the absolute temperature, then T minus T naught. What happens to T minus T naught? So in the place of T naught, if you substitute 0, then that difference T minus T naught, it gives one temperature, and that temperature is represented as T. Even you can represent capital T also, no problem. You can substitute capital T also. Okay, in that case the above equation, it changes, a slight modification takes place there. That is, in the place of t minus t naught, I can substitute small t. Okay. So when I make that substitution, then the equation will be r is equal to r naught into 1 plus alpha t. Is it clear? This is the equation what we have to remember. Whenever we have any problem based upon resistance and the temperature, okay, how the variation of resistance takes place with respect to the increase in temperature, then we have to make use of this relationship, right? Of course, this alpha remains the same, that is the temperature coefficient of resistance or temperature coefficient of resistivity. It can be considered in both ways. Now, how to find the value of this alpha, that is coefficient of resistance. Yes, how to find the value of this alpha? Very simple. By making a small modification in this equation only, we can find the value of alpha. Okay, so the same equation is taken here. Then first I multiply R naught with both terms which are present in the bracket, right? Then I shift R naught to the left hand side. Okay, so it becomes R minus R naught. Now I want to know what is the value of alpha. Therefore, R naught into T, both terms R naught and T, they are shifted to left side. They go to the denominator, and hence we get only alpha in the RHS, or it can be written as alpha is equal to R minus R naught divided by R naught into T. Okay, the temperature coefficient of resistance is given by R minus R naught into divided by R naught into T. Here R is the temperature of the substance or the material at the temperature T. R naught is the resistance of the material at the temperature T naught. Okay, and T is the difference in temperature or increase in temperature. Is it clear? So dear students, like this, we derive the equation for the resistance, resistive temperature coefficient of resistance of a material. Okay, and this temperature coefficient of a resistance of a material is different for different materials. It changes from one material to another material. It is not the same for all the materials. Okay, remember this. If you have silver, that alpha value will be different. For copper, alpha value will be different. For iron, it is different. For aluminium, it is different. Okay, so as the metal changes, as the conductor changes, the alpha value also changes. Is it clear? So therefore, this discussion what I made today, so this discussion can be asked under 2 marks. It is a concept of 2 marks, not more than that. But the equations are very important. I'm repeating it once again. The equations are very, very important from the point of view of exam. Okay, is it clear? Yes, while solving the problem, we shall see how to make use of these equations. Definitely, we are going to solve the examples based upon this variation of resistance with respect to temperature also. Okay, yes, dear students, now let us move towards one more concept, that is electric power. Yes, what do you mean by power? Already you have learnt about this word power in first year physics, as well as even in the high school section also. Yes, power. What do you mean by power? ಸಾಮರ್ಥ್ಯ ಅಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ ಕನ್ನಡದೊಳಗಡೆ ಪವರ್ ಅನ್ನ ಸಾಮರ್ಥ್ಯ ಅಂತ ಕರೀತಾರೆ. ಎಸ್, ಏನು ಪವರ್ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಏನು ಯಾರು ಹೇಳ್ತೀರಿ? Fast. I'm not asking electric power, huh? Don't worry. Simply tell what is power. Anybody? Malashri, Anita, Vidya. Malashri, what is power? Malashri, can you hear my voice? Okay, let it be. See, power is nothing but it is the rate of doing the work. Okay, rate of doing the work using some energy. Okay, without the use of energy, the work cannot be done. Is it clear? Without the use of energy, the work cannot be done. Now, if the work is done, we can measure the power, that is rate of doing the work. You know that whenever the word rate comes, then always we have to consider the time. Okay, so time factor there. For example, just assume that there are two separate tanks. Okay, and I ask two people, say A and B, to fill these tanks. Okay, completely fill these tanks. I have assigned some work to them. Then what they do? They start to bring the water from a source of water, and then they are continuously they are filling the they are trying to fill the tanks. So one person, say A, does that work or completes that work in 30 minutes, and another person, say B, completes his work, same work, in 40 minutes. Then who has got more power? ಯಾರ ಹತ್ರ ಸಾಮರ್ಥ್ಯ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಇದೆ, ಆ ಕೆಲಸವನ್ನು ಮಾಡುವಂತ ಸಾಮರ್ಥ್ಯ ಯಾರ ಹತ್ರ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಇದೆ? Which person has got more power of doing that work? Definitely the one who has taken lesser time will be having more capacity to do that work, right? More power. It is also called as the capacity of doing the work. Power is also called as the capacity of doing the work. So the person A has got more capacity of doing that work, whereas person B is having lesser capacity, or he is having lesser power. Why? Because he has taken more time, isn't it? So therefore here, whenever we have the concept of power using some energy, then always there comes the time factor. In the same way, if we are making use of electrical energy and doing some work, okay, just try to understand it. If we have the electrical energy and using that electrical energy, if we are doing some work, then definitely there comes the power, and that power is called as the electric power. Okay, that power is called as electric power. Suppose you have two mixer grinders. ಮಿಕ್ಸರ್ಸ್, ಮನಿ ಒಳಗಡೆ ಮಿಕ್ಸರ್ ಅಂತ ನೋಡಿರ್ತಿರಲ್ಲ, ಕಿಚನ್ ಒಳಗಡೆ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡುತ್ತಿರ್ತಾರೆ ಮಿಕ್ಸರ್. ಸೊ ಒಂದಿಷ್ಟು ಸುಮಾರು ಒಂದು 1/2 kg ಪುಟಾಣಿಯನ್ನ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಏನ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು, ಪೌಡರ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು ಮಿಕ್ಸರ್ ಒಳಗಡೆ. ಸೊ ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಮಿಕ್ಸರ್ ಒಳಗೂ ಹಾಫ್ ಕೆಜಿ ಪುಟಾಣಿ ಪೌಡರ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು, ಸೆಕೆಂಡ್ ಮಿಕ್ಸರ್ ಒಳಗೂ ಹಾಫ್ ಕೆಜಿ ಪೌಡರ್ ಏನ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು, ಪೌಡರ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು, ಪುಟಾಣಿಯನ್ನ ಪೌಡರ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು. ಸೊ ವಿ ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟೆಡ್ ದ ವರ್ಕ್. See, first mixer, it did that work in say 5 minutes, whereas the second mixer, it took 7 minutes. Okay, then which mixer is having more capacity of doing the work or more power? Yes, definitely the first mixer is having more power. Why? Because it has done the work in lesser amount of time, isn't it? So in the market also, remember, if you go to purchase the mixers or mixer grinders, then you have to select the mixers depending upon their power. Not only, see, we are not only selecting the mixer type of devices, even if we go to market to purchase a bulb, then we select the bulb depending upon its power. If we have water pump, ನೀವು ಹೊಲ ಅಥವಾ ಮನೆ ಒಳಗಡೆ ನೀರ್ ಎತ್ತಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಪಂಪ್ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರಲ್ಲ, ಬೋರ್ವೆಲ್ಗೆಲ್ಲ ಪಂಪ್ ಕುಡಿಸಿರ್ತಾರಲ್ಲ, ಹೌದಾ? ಸೊ ಇಫ್ ಯು ಆರ್ ಪರ್ಚೇಸಿಂಗ್ ಅ ಪಂಪ್, then it has to be selected based upon its power. Okay, so remember, electric power is the concept of what, the rate of doing the work using the electrical energy. Very simple. The rate of doing the work using the electrical energy is called as electric power. Okay, so this electric power is associated with all the equipments, okay, which are used to do one or the other work. All the equipments, okay, which are used to do one or the other work, dear students. Therefore here we have the concept of electric power, and it is given by work done divided by time taken. Yes, how much work is done in how much amount of time? If you take the ratio between the work done and time taken, then that gives the electric power. So if the time taken is less, the electric power will be more. If the time taken is more, then the electric power will be less. Okay, yes. So one question, do you have agricultural fields? Anybody? I hope everybody have got the agricultural fields. Malashri, Vidya, Anita, Shamshadvi. ಹೊಲ ಇದಾವ? ಹೊಲ ತೋಟ ಇದಾವ?
Yes, sir.
ಅನಿತಾ?
Yes, sir.
ಎಸ್. ಬೋರ್ವೆಲ್ ಇದೆನಾ?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
ಹಾ, ಬೋರ್ವೆಲ್ಗೆ ಎಷ್ಟು ಕೆಪಾಸಿಟಿದು ಮೋಟರ್ ಕನೆಕ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡಿರ್ತಾರೆ ಹೊಲದೊಳಗಡೆ? ನಿಮ್ ಬೋರ್ವೆಲ್ ಒಳಗಡೆ ಎಷ್ಟು ಕೆಪಾಸಿಟಿ ಕನೆಕ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡಿದಾರೆ ಹೇಳ್ರಿ, ಗೊತ್ತಿದೆನಾ?
ಗೊತ್ತಿಲ್ಲ.
Don't know. See, practically you don't know the things which are there with your life. Vidya? Usually it is selected depending upon how much agricultural land has to be irrigated. ಹೊಲ ಎಷ್ಟಿದೆ ಅದ್ರ ಮೇಲೆ ಸೆಲೆಕ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂತಾರೆ ಒಂದು. ಎರಡನೇದು, ಎಷ್ಟು ಬೋರ್ವೆಲ್ ಎಷ್ಟು ಆಳಕ್ಕಿದೆ ಅದ್ರ ಮೇಲೆ ಸೆಲೆಕ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂತಾರೆ, ಹೌದಾ? ಬೋರ್ವೆಲ್ ಬಹಳ ಆಳ ಹೋಗಿತ್ತು ಅಂದ್ರೆ 300 feet 400 500 feet ಡೆಪ್ತ್ ಹೋಗಿತ್ತು ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಅವಾಗ ಸಣ್ಣ ಕೆಪಾಸಿಟಿ ಬೋರ್ ಅನ್ನ ನಾವು ಕನೆಕ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ, ಪಂಪ್ ಅನ್ನ ಕನೆಕ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ನೀರು ಬರಂಗಿಲ್ಲ, ನೀರು ಎತ್ತಂಗಿಲ್ಲ ಅಷ್ಟೊಂದು. ಅವಾಗ ಹೆವಿ ಮೋಟರ್ ಅನ್ನ, ಹೆವಿ ಪಂಪ್ ಅನ್ನ ಸಬ್ಮರ್ಸಿಬಲ್ ಪಂಪ್ ಅಂತ ಕರೀತಾರೆ. ಉದ್ದ ಇರುತ್ತೆ ನೋಡ್ರಿ ಮೋಟರ್, ಹೌದಾ? ಸೊ ಆ ಸಬ್ಮರ್ಸಿಬಲ್ ಪಂಪ್ ಅನ್ನ ಒಳಗಡೆ ಬಿಡ್ತಾರೆ. ಹೌದಾ? ಸೊ ಬಹಳ ಕಡಿಮೆ ಬೋರ್ವೆಲ್ ಡೆಪ್ತ್ ಬಹಳ ಕಡಿಮೆ ಇತ್ತಪ್ಪ. ಎಷ್ಟು? 100 ಫೀಟ್ 150 ಫೀಟ್ ಒಳಗಡೆ ನೀರು ಬಂದ್ಬಿಟ್ಟಿತ್ತು ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ ಸಣ್ಣ ಮೋಟರ್, ಸಣ್ಣ ಕೆಪಾಸಿಟಿ ಮೋಟರ್ ಅನ್ನ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೋತಾರೆ. ಯಾಕೆ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಕೆಲಸ ಕಡಿಮೆ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು. ದ ವರ್ಕ್ ವಿಚ್ ಹ್ಯಾಸ್ ಟು ಬಿ ಡನ್ ಈಸ್ ಲೆಸ್. ಬಟ್ ಇಫ್ ದ ಡೆಪ್ತ್ ಆಫ್ ದ ಬೋರ್ ಈಸ್ ಮೋರ್, then the work has to be done is more. According to that, we select the motors of different capacities. Usually 5 HP to 5 HP to the motors of up to 15 to 20 HP are used. Okay, 5 HP to the motors of up to 15 to 20 HP are used. HP stands for horsepower. HP stands for horsepower. See here, it indicates the ability of that motor to do the work. It indicates the capacity of the motor. Is it clear? Yes. Okay, so let it be. Here, let us find the equation for electric power. Let us find the equation. See, assume that there is one conductor, there is one wire of resistance R, and that wire is connected to a battery. Okay, a battery, a potential difference. Okay, positive terminal and negative terminal of the battery are connected to a wire of resistance R. Then when we make the switch on, then the current I starts to flow through that wire, that conductor. If I is the current which is flowing through the conductor, and this current is due to the flow of charges or displacement of the charges. So charges start to move from negative terminal. The electrons start to move from negative terminal to positive terminal, right? Hence the current is set up, the conventional current is set up from positive terminal to negative terminal. Already we have learnt about this. Okay, so therefore let Q be the amount of charges which are displaced from one end of the conductor to another end, right? And I is the current which is flowing because of the flow of charges. Okay, yes. Then how much work is done in shifting Q amount of charges from one end A to other end B? How much work is done? Just you recall the last chapter. See, always there will be link between one chapter and another chapter. Always. You must not forget the previous chapters as you go to the next chapter, because the knowledge what you have earned in the previous chapter will help you in one or the other way. See here, the situation is regarding the work done, right? Work done in moving the charges from one point to another point, correct? So that is given, that is known as the potential difference, isn't it? And we used to write it as V is equal to W divided by Q. ನೆನಪಿದೆ ಅನ್ಕೋತೀನಿ. What is the potential difference? It is the amount of work done in moving the unit positive charge. ಹೌದಿಲ್ಲೋ? So V is equal to W divided by Q. The same formula is modified to work done. So it is written as W is equal to V into Q. Okay. Yes. From Ohm's law, we know that, from the formula of current, we know that I is equal to Q divided by T. Formula of the current. First formula what we have learned. The rate of flow of charges is called as the current. ನೆನಪಾಗ್ತಾ ಇದೆನಾ ನಾನು ಹೇಳಿದ್ದು? ಇವೆಲ್ಲ ಈಗಾಗಲೇ ಹೇಳಿದ್ದು, ಈಗಾಗಲೇ ಕಲಿಸಿದ್ದೆ, ಅದನ್ನೇ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ತಾ ಇದೀವಿ. So we know that current is equal to Q divided by T. And if I modify it for Q, then Q will be equal to I into T. Correct. So therefore that value of Q is substituted here. In the place of Q, we have substituted Q is equal to I into T. Then W is equal to V into I into T. This is one formula what we obtained. Okay. Now, what is electric power? It is the amount of work done divided by time taken. So according to that, amount of work done is V into I into T divided by time taken. It is in the denominator, it is T. Hence T and T cancelled. Then only electric power is left, that is equal to V into I. So this is the very important formula of electric power. Not a single, not a common power, it is the electric power. So electric power P is equal to V into I. Yes, any problem, any doubt regarding this? Any problem or any doubt? So this can be asked you for 2 to 3 marks. Okay, they may ask you to derive the equation for electric power. What is electric power? And derive the equation of electric power, 3 marks. Right. Directly, if they ask you to derive the equation for electric power, then directly with the help of the formula or the relationship, we can derive it. But these things are very important. The knowledge of potential difference, the knowledge of current, what we have learned, that is important. With the help of them only, we derive the equations. Okay. Yes. Any problem in understanding this?
No.
Okay. Then, what is the SI unit of power? SI unit of power is given by watt. Already you have learnt about this. 10th ಒಳಗಡೆ ಎಲೆಕ್ಟ್ರಿಸಿಟಿ ಚಾಪ್ಟರ್ ಒಳಗಡೆ ಕಲ್ತೀರಿ, ಇದನ್ನೆಲ್ಲ ಕಲ್ತೀರಿ, ಬಟ್ ಡೆರಿವೇಶನ್ ಇರಲಿಲ್ಲ ಅಷ್ಟೇ. ಡೈರೆಕ್ಟ್ ಆಗಿ ಪವರ್ ಇಸ್ ಈಕ್ವಲ್ ಟು ವಿ ಇಂಟು ಐ ಅಂತ ತಗೋತಿದ್ವಿ, ಡೆರಿವೇಶನ್ ಇರಲಿಲ್ಲ. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಡಿರೈವ್ ಮಾಡಿವಿ ಅಷ್ಟೇ. 10th ಒಳಗಡೆ ಎಲೆಕ್ಟ್ರಿಸಿಟಿ ಚಾಪ್ಟರ್ ವಿದ್ಯುತ್ ಶಕ್ತಿ ಪಾಠದೊಳಗಡೆ ಕಲ್ತೀರಿ, ಹೌದಾ? So watt is the SI unit of power. So that's why whenever we go to market to purchase any electrical equipment, always we ask the equipments of particular wattage. ಮಾರ್ಕೆಟಿಗೆ ಹೋದ್ರಿ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಪರ್ಟಿಕ್ಯುಲರ್ ವ್ಯಾಟೇಜ್ ಇದ್ದು ನೀವು ಎಲೆಕ್ಟ್ರಿಕಲ್ equipments ಪರ್ಚೇಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀರಿ. ಬಹಳ ಸಿಂಪಲ್ ಆಗಿ ಹೇಳ್ತೀನಿ ನೋಡಿ. ಇಫ್ ಯು ವೆಂಟ್ ಟು ಎನಿ ಶಾಪ್ ಟು ಪರ್ಚೇಸ್ ದ ಬಲ್ಬ್, okay, how do you ask? For example, if you are purchasing the LED bulb, yes, nowadays the normal the filament bulb is not used. Tungsten filament ಇದ್ದಿದ್ದ ಬಲ್ಬ್ ಇರ್ತಿತ್ತು ಮುಂಚೆ, ಹೌದಾ? ಇವಾಗೆಲ್ಲ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡಂಗಿಲ್ಲ ಅದನ್ನ, ಎಲ್ಲರೂ LED ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ. Yes, so what you say, you ask for 12 watt LED bulb, correct? ಒಂದು 12 ವ್ಯಾಟ್ LED ಬಲ್ಬ್ ಕೊಡ್ರಿ ಅಂತ ಕೇಳ್ತೀರಿ, ಅಥವಾ 10 ವ್ಯಾಟ್ LED ಬಲ್ಬ್ ಕೊಡ್ರಿ ಅಂತ ಕೇಳ್ತೀರಿ, ಅಥವಾ 15-20 ವ್ಯಾಟ್ LED ಬಲ್ಬ್ ಕೊಡ್ರಿ ಅಂತ ಕೇಳ್ತೀರಿ, ಹೌದಾ? ಸೊ the LED bulbs are selected based upon their wattage. Why? What difference will be there between 10 watt and 15 watt LED bulb? Yes, what difference will be there? ಬೇಗ ಹೇಳ್ಬೇಕು. ಇದು ಬೆಳಕು ಕೊಡುತ್ತೆ, ಇದು ಬೆಳಕು ಕೊಡುತ್ತೆ, ಹೌದಾ? ಎಸ್, ಡಿಫರೆನ್ಸ್ ಏನು? ಯಾಕೆ ಬಾತ್ರೂಮ್ ಒಳಗಡೆ 10 ವ್ಯಾಟ್ ಬಲ್ಬ್
light?
ಹಾ, which bulb gives the more light?
LED set.
ಅಮ್ಮ, ಇವೆರಡರ ಒಳಗಡೆ ಯಾವ್ದು ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಬೆಳಕು ಕೊಡುತ್ತೆ? 10 ವ್ಯಾಟ್ 15 ವ್ಯಾಟ್ ಒಳಗೆ ಇನ್ನು ಎರಡು ಅಷ್ಟೇ ಬೆಳಕು ಕೊಡ್ತಾವು. ಹೇಳ್ರಿ ಬೇಗ. $15 watt bulb gives more light, correct? 15-watt bulb gives more light because its working capacity is more, its power is more. So we select all the electrical equipments based upon the power only. Is it clear? Yes. Now we can make some small change in the equation of power by using the Ohm's law. Yes, we know that P is equal to V into I. It is the product of potential difference and current flowing through the circuit. Okay. Now instead of this V, if I apply the Ohm's law, that is P is equal to R into I, because V is equal to R into I according to Ohm's law. V is equal to Ri according to Ohm's law. Then what happens? The equation will change and we get a new equation, that is P is equal to I square R. So sometime we make use of this equation also to calculate the electric power. Okay. Now instead of V, if I substitute I substitute for I kept V as it is, then I is equal to V divided by R. So V divided by R is substituted, then I get this equation, that is P is equal to V square by R. Okay. So according to the requirement, we use the three equations of power. One is P is equal to V into I, P is equal to I square R, P is equal to V square R. It is very important for CET NEET as well as 1 or 2 marks questions in your theory exam. Okay, equations are very important, right? Now, if we make a slight modification in the electric power, then we obtain the electric energy. Electric energy. So it is nothing but the capacity of doing the work using the electric current. Capacity of doing the work using the electric current. Yes. So the SI unit of electric energy is watt hour. Watt hour. And it is symbolically written as kWh. kWh. It is the practical unit. Practical unit of electrical energy. ಕೇಳ್ತಾರೆ ಎಕ್ಸಾಮ್ ಒಳಗಡೆ, what is the practical unit of electrical energy ಅಂತ ಕೇಳ್ತಾರೆ. Yes, it is kilowatt hour, kWh. For example, if you see the electricity bill, right? In the electricity bill, they will be mentioning about how much electrical energy you have used, how much electrical energy you have used this month. ಹೌದಾ? ಸೊ ಅದನ್ನ ನಾವು ಆಕ್ಚುಲಿ ಕಿಲೋವ್ಯಾಟ್ ಅವರ್ ಒಳಗಡೆ ಹೇಳಂಗಿಲ್ಲ ಕಾಮನ್ ಮನುಷ್ಯ, ಯಾಕಂದ್ರೆ ಕಾಮನ್ ಮನುಷ್ಯ ಗೊತ್ತಿರಂಗಿಲ್ಲ. ಅವ ಏನಂತಾನೆ, ಕಾಮನ್ ಮನುಷ್ಯ ಯೂನಿಟ್ ಅಂತ ಅದನ್ನ ಒಂದೇ ಹೇಳ್ತಾನೆ. ಇಷ್ಟು ಯೂನಿಟ್ ಕರೆಂಟ್ ಸುಡ್ತ್ ನೋಡ್ರಿ, ಇಷ್ಟು ಯೂನಿಟ್ ಕರೆಂಟ್ ಈ ತಿಂಗಳು ಯೂಸ್ ಆಗಿದೆ, ಹೌದಾ? ಇಷ್ಟು ಯೂನಿಟ್ ಹೋದ್ ತಿಂಗಳಿಗಿಂತಲೂ ಹೆಚ್ಚು ಯೂಸ್ ಆಯ್ತು, ಇಷ್ಟು ಯೂನಿಟ್ ಕಡಿಮೆ ಯೂಸ್ ಆಯ್ತು ಅಂತ ಯೂನಿಟ್ ಒಳಗೆ ಹೇಳ್ತಾನೆ ಕಾಮನ್ ಮನುಷ್ಯ. ಬಟ್ ಅದೇ ಟೆಕ್ನಿಕಲಿ ನಾವು ತಗೊಂಡ್ವಿ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಕಿಲೋವ್ಯಾಟ್ ಅವರ್. ಸೊ 1 ಯೂನಿಟ್ ಅಂತ ನಾವೇನ್ ಕರಿತೀವಲ್ಲ, that is nothing but 1 kilowatt hour. Is it clear? So remember, practically we are using the unit of electrical energy and we are expressing it in terms of kilowatt hour. Yes. Then the amount, the bill of electricity is calculated based upon how much kilowatt hour of electrical energy we use in 1 month. ಓಕೆ, ಪ್ರತಿ ತಿಂಗಳು ಬಿಲ್ ಕೊಡ್ತಾರಲ್ಲ, ಯಾವ ಬೇಸಿಸ್ ಮೇಲೆ ಕ್ಯಾಲ್ಕುಲೇಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರಪ್ಪ? ನಮ್ಮ ಮನೆಯೊಳಗಡೆ ಇರುವಂತ ಎಲೆಕ್ಟ್ರಿಕಲ್ ಇಕ್ವಿಪ್ಮೆಂಟ್ಸ್ ಎಷ್ಟು ಎಲೆಕ್ಟ್ರಿಕಲ್ ಎನರ್ಜಿಯನ್ನ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡ್ವು ಈ ತಿಂಗಳು. ಮನೆಯೊಳಗಡೆ ಟಿವಿ ಹಚ್ತೀವಿ, ಫ್ರಿಡ್ಜು, ಲೈಟು, ಮೋಟರು, ಮೊಬೈಲ್ ಚಾರ್ಜ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ, ಏನೇನೋ ಎಲೆಕ್ಟ್ರಿಕಲ್ ಕೆಲಸ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ, ಐರನಿಂಗ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೋತೀವಿ, ಹೌದಾ? ಸೊ ಆ ಎಲ್ಲಾ ಎಲೆಕ್ಟ್ರಿಕಲ್ ಇಕ್ವಿಪ್ಮೆಂಟ್ಸ್ ಕೂಡ್ಕೊಂಡು ಎಷ್ಟು ಎಲೆಕ್ಟ್ರಿಕಲ್ ಎನರ್ಜಿ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡ್ವು ಅದನ್ನ ಲೆಕ್ಕ ಹಾಕಿದ್ವಿ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಅದೇ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ ದಿಸ್ ಮಚ್ ಕಿಲೋವ್ಯಾಟ್ ಅವರ್ ಅಂತ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ, ಇಷ್ಟು ಕಿಲೋವ್ಯಾಟ್ ಅವರ್ ಅಂತ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಸೊ ಅದ್ರ ಬೇಸಿಸ್ ಮೇಲೆ ಬಿಲ್ ಅನ್ನ ಕ್ರಿಯೇಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ. ಅರ್ಥ ಆಯ್ತಾ? ಎಸ್. Now we use one device for measuring the electrical energy consumed, that is watt meter. Watt meter ಅದನ್ನೇ ನಾವು ಕಾಮನ್ ಆಗಿ ನಮ್ಮ ಆಡು ಭಾಷೆ ಒಳಗಡೆ ಏನಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ, ಮೀಟರ್ ಅಂತ ಅಷ್ಟೇ ಕರಿತೀವಿ. ಪ್ರತಿಯೊಬ್ಬರು ಮನೆಗೆ ಹೊರಗಡೆ ಎಲೆಕ್ಟ್ರಿಕಲ್ ಮೀಟರ್ ಹಾಕಿರ್ತಾರ ಗೊತ್ತೈತಿ, ಅದ್ರೊಳಗಡೆನೆ ಬಂದು ನೋಡ್ತಾರ ಅವ್ರು, KV ಅವ್ರು ಬಂದು ಎಷ್ಟು ಎಲೆಕ್ಟ್ರಿಸಿಟಿ ಯೂಸ್ ಆಯ್ತು ಅಂತ ಅದ್ರೊಳಗಡೆ ನೋಡ್ತಾರೆ. ಯಾಕೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಅದು ಏನ್ ಕೊಡುತ್ತೆ, ವ್ಯಾಟ್ ಮೀಟರ್, ವಾಟ್ ಇಟ್ ಗಿವ್ಸ್ ಅಸ್ ದ ಇನ್ಫಾರ್ಮೇಶನ್ ಅಬೌಟ್ ಹೌ ಮಚ್ ಎಲೆಕ್ಟ್ರಿಕಲ್ ಎನರ್ಜಿ ವಿ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಯೂಸ್ಡ್. Okay, yes, this is about the electrical power and electrical energy. Yes, if you have any doubts you can ask. No doubts? Okay, then we shall stop the class and we shall continue the class tomorrow. Do you need the videos, recorded videos again? It is one extra work for me actually. After the class, do you need the the class videos to refer? Required or not required? Shamshad bhi?
Sir,
Whether you require the YouTube videos of the class to refer
Yes, sir.
afterward. ಯೂಸ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೋ ಇಲ್ಲೋ ಅಂತ, ಇಲ್ಲ ಸುಮ್ನೆ ನಾನು ಅಪ್ಲೋಡ್ ಮಾಡೋದು ಡೇಟಾ ಹಾಳಾಗುತ್ತೆ, ಅದ್ರ ಸಲುವಾಗಿ ನಾನು ಹೇಳ್ತಾ ಇರೋದು, ಸುಮ್ನೆ ವೇಸ್ಟ್.
ಇಲ್ಲ ಸರ್,
ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ತೀರಿ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ನಾನು ಅಪ್ಲೋಡ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀನಿ, ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳಂಗಿಲ್ಲ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ ನಾನು ಅಪ್ಲೋಡ್ ಮಾಡಂಗಿಲ್ಲ, ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಹೇಳಾಗ್ತಿದ್ದು. ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ತೀರಿ? ಓಕೆ, ಎಸ್, ಓಕೆ, ಓಕೆ, ಡನ್. ಐ ವಿಲ್ ಸೆಂಡ್. ಓಕೆ, ಎಸ್.